Hey, what's up guys? Steve here, and today we're going to take a look at the 40 highest selling 1987 through 1994 Michael Jordan basketball cards from the Fanatics weekly auction that ended on June 22nd. And we'll kick today's list off at number 40 with this 1992 Upper Deck Team MVP's Michael Jordan, card number TM5. This was a BGS 9 that received 11 bids, and it sold for $26.40. Up next at number 39 is this 1993 Upper Deck Michael Jordan Skylights, card number 466. This was a PSA 8 that received 11 bids, and it sold for $26.40. Coming in at number 38 is this 1994 Upper Deck USA Jordan's Highlights Michael Jordan, card number JH4. This was a PSA 8 that received 12 bids, and it sold for $26.40. We get our first Michael Jordan basketball card from the 1980s at number 37, with his 1989 Collegiate Collections North Carolina card number 13. This was a PSA 9 that received 10 bids, and it sold for $26.40. Up next at number 36 is this 1990 Hoops Michael Jordan, card number 65. This was a PSA 9 that received 8 bids, and it also sold for $26.40. Coming in at number 35 is Michael Jordan's 1991 Upper Deck, card number 22. This was a PSA 10 that received 7 bids, and it sold for $27.60. We're headed to the inaugural 1990 Skybox basketball set at number 34 with Michael Jordan's base card with card number 41. This was a PSA 9 that received 10 bids, and it sold for $27.60. Coming in at number 33 is this 1991 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 29. This was a PSA 9 that received 6 bids, and it sold for $28.80. Up next at number 32 is this 1990 Fleer All-Stars Michael Jordan, card number 5. This was a PSA 9 that received 12 bids, and it sold for $31.20. Coming in at number 31 is this 1993 Topps Gold Michael Jordan, card number 23. This was a PSA 9 that received 9 bids, and it also sold for $31.20. And we're headed back to the inaugural 1991 Upper Deck basketball set to kick off the top 30 with Michael Jordan's card number 48. This was an SGC 10 that received 7 bids, and it sold for $32.40. Sticking to the same set at number 29 with this 1991 Upper Deck All-Star Michael Jordan, card number 69. This was an SGC 10 that received 8 bids, and it sold for $38.40. Coming in at number 28 is this 1994 Skybox Emotion Michael Jordan, card number 100. This was an SGC 9.5 that received 15 bids, and it sold for $40.80. And we're headed back to the 1980s at number 27 with Michael Jordan's 1987 Fleer sticker with sticker number 2. This was a PSA 3 that received 22 bids, and it also sold for just over $40. Up next at number 26 is this 1993 Upper Deck Triple Double Michael Jordan, card number TD2. This was a PSA 8 that received 10 bids, and it sold for $43.20. Coming in at number 25 is Michael Jordan's 1993 Upper Deck Holo Jams, card number H4. This was a PSA 8 that received 16 bids, and it sold for $44.40. Up next at number 24 is this 1992 Topps Archives Michael Jordan, card number 52. This was a PSA 9 that received 13 bids, and it sold for just over $50. Coming in at number 23 is this 1991 Upper Deck Magic Johnson vs. Michael Jordan, card number 34. This was an SGC 10 that received 11 bids, and it sold for $51.60. Up next at number 22 is this 1992 Hoops USA Michael Jordan, card number 341. This was a PSA 10 that received 12 bids, and it sold for $56.40. Coming in at number 21 is this 1992 Upper Deck MVP Michael Jordan, card number 67. This was a PSA 10 that received 16 bids, and it sold for $58.80. And we're headed back to the 1990 Hoops basketball set to kick off the top 20, this time with Michael Jordan's All-Star card with card number 5. This was an SGC 10 that received 15 bids, and it sold for $72 even. Up next at number 19 is this 1989 Collegiate Collections North Carolina Michael Jordan, card number 18. This was a PSA 10 that received 26 bids, and it sold for $86.40. And we're sticking to the late 1980s at number 18 with this 1988 Michael Jordan Rules card. This was a PSA 10 that received 20 bids, and it sold for $103.20. Coming in at number 17 is Michael Jordan's 1991 Hoops USA card number 579. This was a PSA 10 that received 18 bids, and it sold for $105.60. Up next at number 16 is this 1993 Upper Deck Michael Jordan, card number 23. This was a PSA 10 that received 20 bids, and it sold for $108. Coming in at number 15 is Michael Jordan's 1993 Ultra Famous Nicknames insert with card number 7. This was a PSA 9 that received 30 bids, and it sold for $112.80. Up next at number 14 is this 1992 Upper Deck Michael Jordan, card number 453. This air variation was in a PSA 9 that received 31 bids, and it sold for $138. Get our first promo card at number 13 with this 1990 Skybox Prototype Michael Jordan, card number 41. This was an SGC 8 that received 16 bids, and it sold for $168. Up next at number 12 is this 1989 Michael Jordan Spanish sticker, sticker number 13. This was a PSA 2 that received 24 bids, and it also sold for $168. Coming in at number 11 is this 1991 Fleer Pro Visions Michael Jordan, card number 2. This was a PSA 10 that received 21 bids, and it sold for $180. And we're sticking to the early 1990s to kick off the top 10 with this 1992 Upper Deck Fanimation Michael Jordan, card number 506. This was a PSA 10 that received 22 bids, and it sold for $192. Up next at number 9 is this 1987 Gigantes de la NBA Michael Jordan, card number 58. This was a PSA 1.5 that received 33 bids, and it sold for just over $200. Coming in at number 8 is this 1990 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 26. This was a PSA 10 that received 44 bids, and it sold for $216. Up next at number 7 is Michael Jordan's 1993 Ultra Power in the Key insert with card number 2. This was a PSA 8 that received 23 bids, and it sold for $228. And we're headed back to the late 1980s at number 6 with this 1988 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 17. This was a PSA 9 that received 23 bids, and it sold for $300 even. And kicking off the top 5 of today's list is this 1992 Stadium Club Beam Team Members Only Michael Jordan, card number 1. This was a PSA 7 that received 24 bids, and it sold for $320. Up next at number 4 is Michael Jordan's 1992 Fleer All-Stars with card number 6. This was a PSA 9 that received 31 bids, and it sold for $516. Coming in at number 3 is this 1993 Upper Deck Mr. June Jordans of Steel Michael Jordan, card number MJ1. This was a PSA 10 that received 28 bids, and it sold for $930. Up next at number 2 is this 1993 Finest Michael Jordan, card number 1. This was a PSA 10 that received 23 bids, and it sold for $1,140. And topping off today's list at number 1 is this 1992 Stadium Club Beam Team Michael Jordan, card number 1. This Jordan insert was in a BGS 9.5 that received 39 bids, and it sold for $3,000 even. Thanks for joining me today, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.